Hi guys, and welcome back to the Video Game with Powers. I'm Jake, and in today's video, I am bringing you an unboxing of my most anticipated board game of 2025. This one is Odaline Dungeons of Doom from Dragori Games. Now, this just missed the 2025 tagline, right? This was delivered to me actually today. I was so excited to get this game in. I had to immediately get this to the table and unbox this one. Now, normally I'd have the box with me, but there is a giant winter storm going around here in the United States, and so unfortunately the box that it was delivered in did get wet and kind of not really moldy, but scrunched up a little bit. Thankfully, there looks to be no damage on the outside of any of these boxes, so I went ahead and took it out of the box for us all to see here. Now, this is going to be the all-in edition, as well as I have the painted miniatures and the Sundrop miniatures in this one as well. I also got some acrylic tokens as an add-on. Now, there are some things that are going to be missing. Dragori Games have come out and said that they're going to send like an update pack. I believe one of the characters, Karen, and his card set is missing, but I don't know. We're going to go through and see what you guys will be able to see what I have and what I do not have. Last thing, guys, before I jump into this unboxing, I do want to give a statement of faith right here. And the reason why I want to do this is because you might be coming from the Game Found page where I posted a link to this video in the comment section so you guys can see this. And you might have noticed that I have been very, very critical in the comment section of Dragori Games of how they have kind of handled this campaign. Now, everybody's way that a campaign is handled is going to be different, but in my personal opinion, I think there are some things that they did not do very well, and that's why I was very critical. But I want to make this statement of faith that I always try to be as objective as possible when it comes to this channel and the content that we provide for you. So regardless of how I felt about the campaign, we are here to specifically look at the components and the finished product with Odaline Dungeons of Doom to see what my thoughts and opinions are here today. Okay, guys, let's talk about what we have. We have the core box right here, which is going to be on my right. I got this small, tiny deck of cards, which I do not know what this is. We have the all-in storage right here, and then I got some acrylic tokens. So let's go ahead and start with the core box. Let me drop this down to the table, and let's dive into this and see what Odaline Dungeons of Doom is all about. All right, guys, so down here at the table, we have our core box. You can see Odaline Dungeons of Doom. This is a dark fantasy dungeon crawler for 1 to 4 players. This is the Sundrop plus painted edition of the game as well. Very cool Prince of Persia-esque style theming on the front. That's kind of what really drew me to this game. Now, this is, of course, going to be a hefty box, but let's take a look at some of the specifics here of Odalin and what it is all about. So it says, if I wield darkness to stop a greater evil, am I a sinner? The kingdoms of Odalin lie shadowed beneath the demonic legions of Abaddon, the Lord of Hell. You are one of the last heroes, brave or desperate enough to bind your soul to an ancient demon lord, gaining immense power to fight back. And then we got some little things over here. Dynamic dungeon exploration, harness forbidden power, brutal tactical combat, choices that matter. Every decision shapes your hero's path in Odalin's fate. Protect the innocent or seize swift power, bargain with darkness or resist temptation. Multiple endings mean each choice has profound consequences. Immersive storytelling, tactical depth, and stunning miniatures combine in a cooperative dungeon crawling experience designed to reward bold decisions and strategic mastery. Descend into darkness, master your powers, decide if Odalin will rise again or crumble into the shadows. Okay, so that's kind of a brief take on this one. Now, of course, this is coming to you from Dragori Games. This is a 1 to 4 player dungeon crawler. I'm assuming this is going to be more of a mature themed style game. We do include 5 mystery boxes to be discovered throughout the campaign. And I would say the playtime here is probably going to be what a typical dungeon crawl is going to be, 90 probably to like 120 minutes or 90 to 2 hours or something like that. Okay, let me go ahead and flip this over. Well, we got it actually right here on the box. while I flip this upside down. So 1 to 4 players, ages 14 plus, right around at 90 minutes per playthrough. Okay, let's see what we got in this core box. Now, I am gonna kind of move a little quickly, guys. If you are new to our channel, me and my wife just had a blessing. We just had our baby girl last week, and so I'm able to get away from the baby for a little bit. So I might move very quickly through this video than I would like, but hey, to each his own. I want to get this one to the table. Okay, so we don't have anything inside the box. Alrighty, so we have our foreteller. So here is our foreteller audio narration. Doesn't say anything about the code. My understanding is that the foreteller app is not ready yet, so we will have to wait on that one. Okay, we have some plastic bags. We got our rule book. All right, thick rule book here. They have a PDF version of this online, so I've already gone through and kind of read all this stuff. I think it's a really well done rule book. They have a lot of scenarios. They had a lot of different things in this text of going on or telling you specifically how things are going to work. I love how they break each of the aspects of the game down, right? Kind of like solo mode. These different chapters is how they have this. So like chapter 9, the elements of the scenarios, how those are going to work, right? Then we have going to like the campaign, how the campaign works, and then like chapter 7, the different effects. So they do a really good job of organizing this rule book, and the artwork on that looks great. Okay, we got some campaign save acts for our information here. Is this a front and a back side? Okay, log act 1, that's the front side. Alrighty, we have some map tiles. Okay, we got some map tiles, we got some miniatures. Okay, let's get the map tiles first, and then we'll take a look at these miniatures up close and personal. Now, one of the big critiques is that these miniatures are not really sun-dropped. Alrighty, that has been a big talk in the campaign page, or at least some of us have seen some pictures of it, and they're like, well, we really don't have a sun drop style, or they're not really sun drop style. It's like almost like a poor man's job of sun drop. So let's see what they're gonna look like when I actually get them to the table. But okay, so we got some map tiles here. Show you up close of what they're gonna look like. They have a front and back side. Let me pop one of these tiles out. They feel great. I love good gloss finish to these, so really nice gloss finish to them. There's not going to be a lot of wear and tear. They are pretty thick. I love the front and the back side on these. Okay, so to me, I would say very good on these map tiles. I like them. I really like the glossy finish. I think that's going to help pop on the table. So we got those map tiles. We got some more map tiles. Alrighty, just all the different types of environments that we might encounter throughout the game here. So some more, it's gonna be tons and tons of map tiles. And I did get the upgraded map tile pack that we have here. Okie dokie. Now it looks like we're gonna have some character tokens. Okay, so some character tokens right here. These look like they're gonna be like items and things that you can encounter in the different scenarios. And then this is gonna be the health track. So this looks to be a change that they've made in the prototype playthrough. Like each player tracked their health on their own boards. Now there's just like a health board where you can track the minions and the characters. I actually like this a whole lot better than having a bunch of small little health tokens that you're gonna put on the enemies and things like that. I think this is a great way to track them. So a huge improvement when it comes to gameplay and maybe mechanically when it comes to this one. Okay, so we got the character tokens. All right, these are gonna be just generic acrylic tokens. So these are status effect tokens. These are gonna be the enemy tokens that you will have depending on their color. Okay, that you'll be encountering. All right, character boards. Let's take a look at some of these character boards. So let me pop all of our characters out and we'll see. These are just some more items, or not really, I can't think of it, not equipment, scenario. So scenario specific things that you will pop out on the board. Okay, so we have some different characters here. Each character is going to have a backside of kind of lore of that specific character, and then they're going to have some starting items on here. So we have Kyra, the Demon Hunter, all right. Manueli, the Saintess, Gavriel, the Paladin, and Marukesh, the Rakasha Sorcerer, okay? Love these little character pads. They're small, they're compact, text looks easy to read on them. Really want to dive into the lore of these, but these are nice. Okay, these look like they're going to slot in pretty well. Okay, let's take a look at some more of our characters in our core box here. So the final characters in the core box, we have Jarek the Fourth. All right, Prince of the Desert. We have Vespera, the Necromancer. We have Tushkan, the Loxian Protector, and Ashara, the Shaman. Okay, so those are all of the 8 characters that are coming in the base core box for this one. Okay, we just got some more miscellaneous tokens. Again, this looks like things that you might encounter throughout these specific scenarios, like different NPCs and things like that. Not sure what these are. Maybe those are like upgrades or things or something like that. Okay, so that's it for all of our tokens and character pads. Let's take a look at these miniatures right here. And I'm not going to pull all of these miniatures out, but let's just grab some of these and really dive in and take a look at the at this Sundrop that they claim. Okay, so let me just start in the middle and we'll take this guy. Okay, so here is, if you guys are able to see, here is going to be our Sundrop. Now, to me, honestly, guys, I don't think it is that bad. Let me hold it a little bit closer. I really don't think that that is that bad, right? To me, it just looks like a lighter Sundrop. You know, Awakened Realms is probably who we're going to compare this to. They are top-notch quality when it comes to Sundrop. And they do a dark wash. So I don't know if Sundrop is necessarily a dark wash, but to me, this just looks like a lighter wash. Does it have that natural Sundrop effect? I think it does, because it is still going to be highlighting different aspects of the characters and the different things, like you can see his belt here, you can see his beard up close, right? There's different intricacies that you can see in this specific character that's going to make it have a nice wash. Now, it does look like there is some inconsistencies with the wash. Like, for example, you can kind of see this guy is going to be a little darker than this guy. Alrighty, if you can kind of see that. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but let me see if I bring her close. Okay, so you see how he's kind of dark, and then we'll look at this guy, and you might be able to see he might just be just a touch lighter. Alrighty, than that one. But honestly, guys, I don't think this is a big deal. I don't think this is a scam. I don't think this is a ripoff, like some people in the comments have said. Let me just start pulling out one of each miniature, and we're just going to take a look at these guys. And I got to tilt, one of my light bulbs went out in the studio, so I'm having a hard time. Let's look at this crazy guy. Oh, that's good. That's pretty good right there. That's cool looking. Let's look at some of these snake pit vipers. Ooh-wee. That thing looks nasty. All right. Yeah, you guys can see. All right. So I mean, I still like it. I don't think this is that big of a deal. I don't think it's anything to be upset about, that like, oh man, this is not a Sundrop wash at all. I still feel like it's adequate, right? They've done some pretty good, decent details on some of the different things, but these look to be all the different minions and things that you'll encounter throughout the course of the game. Let's take a look at this big, beefy guy right here. He looks pretty nice. And then the molds in general, I do like the molds. I like the molds from the aspect of all these little tiny pieces that they have on the edges are nice and thick and sturdy, right? You know, sometimes molds and miniatures, they're very, you have to be very cautious about these edges here because they're gonna be very flimsy. That one's a little flimsy, but it still feels sturdy overall. I'm not worried about this bending or breaking or shaping in a different way. Okay, so I know that wasn't all of the miniatures here in this one, but again, guys, we're trying to move through through this pretty quickly so we can see what we got going on. Okay, so we just got some tokens here. We have our campaign book. Ooh, this is nice. Wow, I actually like this. This is not a massive campaign book. This thing looks nice and compact. Beginning your adventure. I don't want to do any more spoilers, and I just showed some spoils there. But wow, this thing looks really, really nice. I'm actually impressed with this. Honestly, guys, nice compact campaign book. Okay, let's see what else we got. So these are our boards. So let's take a look at our character boards here. Nice and thick, sturdy. Let's take one of our characters and slot them in there. Okay, do they fit in there? All right, they fit in there really, really well. You're gonna have this little lip here that you can pull them out. Dual layered for the health, your soul tracker, corruption tracker. Okay, I think this is good. I like it, I like it. I am interested in this one. Okay, we got some dice, just standard generic dice, if you guys can see them right here. That we'll have. We got a D20 die. Nothing to write home about that one. Let's see what else. Anything. Whoo, we got a lot of cards. All right. Before I get to the cards, let's take a look at these miniatures right here. And see what we got. Oh, we got double stacks of miniatures, it looks like. Okay. So we have, these are all of the core heroes in the game. So let's take a look at this bad boy, the giant elephant that we have here. Alrighty, he looks really nice. Details on there look good. What else do we have? So that was Tushkin. This looks to be a Shara, or maybe that's the Saintess lady. That's the Saintess lady. Alrighty, and what I'm about to just do is pull some of these out. Ooh, the paladin guy, he looks okay. And I gotta kind of make it to where you guys can see some of the details here up close in the light. Details, details, details. I like him, he's not bad. Let's do the necromancer. Or not the necromancer, this is that priest guy. He looks pretty cool with his cape there. You guys can see it. Okay, so those are just some of the heroes. We'll bring the other set of heroes up here so you guys can see, and it's really not, you couldn't really see a whole bunch, that's dark. Okay, let's take a look at some of these painted minis. Ooh wee, that's actually pretty nice. So these are the demon forms that you guys are gonna be able to take on. So that's pretty cool. No clue who that guy is. Alrighty, and then we got this one here. Is that Abaddon? It's got his base at the bottom. Interesting. Okay. Nice, nice painted miniature. All right. So what do we have underneath? These are going to be the rooms to be able to get in these specific rooms. Like you'll lay these down and the tiles will slide underneath here to be able to do that. Okay. Let me go ahead and put this back, and we're gonna put this back on top. Did it go like this or like this? I think it was like this. Okay, move this to the side. Ooh, we're trying to move through this very quickly. All right, we'll take this tray out. We got a whole bunch of cards. We got some more minis back here. We got some special boxes. Let me see. Let's take this tray out and look at some more mystery boxes. Okay, so we got a bunch of mystery boxes that you guys will be able to see right here. Let me open this up and take a look at some of these big bads. Ooh wee, look at that. Man, that is nice. Bring that bad boy in close. Ooh wee, that is very, very good looking. All right. Ooh, look at the fire on this guy. Oh, the gin. Look at that gin right there. Holy smokes. All right, that painted looks nice. Not like super highly detailed painted, but I mean, it does look very, very cool. I'm sure when it's gonna be on the table. And then last but not least, we got like this Bathsheba, this witch, crazy witch here, which you guys might be able to see. Okay. So we got that. All right. I don't think I'm gonna bust into any of these cards, unfortunately, but you can just see that there is a bunch of cards. Again, I do apologize, guys. I don't have a lot of time away from the baby here, so I'm trying to maximize as much time as I possibly can to be able to get this content out to you guys. Okay, I think it went something like this. This went in between on top. Okay, so, well, actually, is there anything else underneath this? That's probably what I should look first. I don't think so, because I think this box, I'm about to get this back out. I always forget and think there's something that might be at the bottom. Okay, it doesn't look like it, but what's cool is it's like, there's like a little case in here that you're gonna fit all the different cards. So it doesn't look like that there's necessarily anything in the bottom of this, but still works out pretty well. Okay, let's drop this back. So that is everything in our core box. Okay, looks nice, looks compact, looks easy to get to and set up. Things look very organized, so very impressed with what I am seeing so far. Okay, I think that's how that went. Let's do this. I'm assuming our hero tiles will eventually go here. The organization on this one is going to be fun. Okay, I believe, was I mistaken? This boards went like this, correct? And then this went over the boards. And then this went here, okay. And then miniatures went on top. And then we had all of our map tiles, and I'll sort all of this stuff out later once we kind of figure it out. Okay, honestly, guys, so far so good. Lived up to the hype that I originally thought this would be living up to. So core box is done and out the way. Okay, let's get to our all-in box now and see what we got. Let me drop this down here. Okay, move this one all the way to the side. Let's get our all-in storage box and start crack-a-lacking at this one. Okay, all-in storage box. This is our Sundrop / painted as well. Move this over on the back side and we'll see what this one is going to have. So all-in storage box. Okay, this is going to include the Sands of Destruction expansion, which is that second act. Okay, we have Demon Pack number 1, Demon Pack number 2, Hero Pack 1, Hero Pack 2, the Scenario Pack, the Deluxe Dice Pack, the Special Tiles Pack, the Abaddon Box, the Deluxe Dice Tray, and the Art Book. Okay, so all the other content in the game that we would need for this one. How are we doing on time? 23 minutes. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I think I got about 45 minutes to get through this one. All right, so looks like our dice tray is on top. So let's take a look at our dice tray here and see what this is. Okay, pretty cool, interesting inlay. Let's see, put it together. I like how it's like, uh-oh, does not want to stick. Okay, I like how it's, man, I don't know the material. I can't think of the material on this one, but get this last. Okay, dice tray is assembled. I do like the material of this. It's like a rubber, like almost like a rubber-esque material. Looks pretty cool and unique. Okay, what is this? Okay, we got a campaign log for Act 2. All right, don't want to bust in any of that. Those are some spoilers and some secrets. Okay, we have more tiles. So I believe these are going to be the special tiles. And basically the difference between these tiles and the tiles that we saw in the core box is these special tiles are going to bring a little bit more pizzazz and a little bit more flavor to them in terms of the artwork and the different things that I think you might encounter on these particular particular tiles, right? They're gonna have a little bit more art, a little bit more ways to set the scenario here. So like you can see these different tiles. I believe in the base game, right, these tiles were just, and actually let me put them down here below. Okay, so I believe in the original core box, right, these tiles were just red and a very dark background. Now, look at them, they have a very Amazonian-esque vibe. There's some snakes on there, right? In the first scenario of the game, you're gonna encounter like vipers and snakes and things like that. And you can really see the details of the different snakes. Like look at this snake with the poison, you got a snake there, you got bones. So these special tiles here are made to really make the game pop out and just give it more of a thematic presence than what they were. So remember, these were yellow or like a goldish hue. Now they have that snake vibe to them. You can see all the different snakes and things laying on them. We got some more snakes. Okay, some more snakes. We got some bones now. Spikes, look, the spikes look different. Okay, so that's what these special tiles here are and what they're designed to do. What do we have here? Some more snakes. Okay, there's a lot of snakes. Okay, see even more snakes. Choo-wee. Are we gonna be fighting a lot of snakes? I guess so. I don't know what this one, blood, gore, bones. This looks like a graveyard almost. Like a bone graveyard. Alrighty. Let's see this one. These special tiles. Let's see what else we got. Okay, more of like a blood bone graveyard. Okay, got some fire and brimstone. And then last but not least, this one, we saw that one get popped out. Okay, so those are all these special tiles. This is the one that got popped out. Again, these tiles still look really cool. They got a nice finish to them. There's the backside as well. So super cool. Very, very nice. Okay, what else do we got? We got our art book here. So the Odalin art book, nice and cool. We're not gonna open that. We got the campaign book number 2. Man, I really am digging this very small compact campaign book. I think that's a wondrous addition. This is not going to take up a lot of table space. You don't have to worry about having this big chunky thing in front of you. I think that's huge. Okay, let's take a look at some of these additional characters. So this is going to be, this set of characters is going to be the Heroes of War pack. I think this was Hero Pack 1, if I am not mistaken. All right, and in this pack, we are going to have Durik, the Dwarven Warrior. All right, Aridia, the Templar. Mordok, the Black Guard. Lyra, the Death Knight. All right, and then our hero pack number 2, this is gonna be all about mages. All right, so that first pack, you can kind of tell they were all melee characters. This one is gonna be mages. We are gonna have Vorath, the Lick, I think that's how it is. Balin, the Halfling Druid. Darum, the High Priest. And Celine, the Elf Wizard. All right, I probably butchered all of those names, but interesting. Okay, we got a bunch of different storage trays and things like that. All right, let's keep moving along here. We got some more miniatures that are coming. I gotta organize all this. Okay. We got some more minis here. There is a spot for a missing mini. I wonder if that is Karen, the special edition add-on. Okay, let's take a look at some of these, see if you guys can see a lot of these miniatures. I'm just gonna pull some of the, let's do the Druid guy. So this is the, or no, that's the Paladin. You can see the Paladin lady. All right. And then here's the Black Knight. Very cool, very, very cool. You can even get in super close and see a lot of these details. Okay, other than that, we got some weird scorpion crab looking things. We got some Anubis, these look pretty cool. These Anubis guys with multiple hands. You can see that, alrighty. So some good amount of miniatures that we have in the game. Let me drop this back on top. Okie dokie. see what else. Deluxe dice, okay, and scenario pack. So this looks to be the scenario pack and deluxe dice. So let's see, deluxe dice first. All right, wow, these look really good. So you can tell they have more of a marble hue to them. Let me see some of these. Yeah, they got more of a glossy, more of a glossy marble hue to them than the other generic dice. Looks cool, looks amazing. All right, let me throw these back in here. Ooh, I just got them rolling all over the place. I'm gonna have to separate these later. See how they work in our little dice tray over here. Just grab a couple of few. Let me see if I can roll anything good. You roll some hits. I did. I roll hits, but I lost 3 health. Crazy. All right, so dice look good. Okay, these are gonna be the doors. All right, so our little Sundrop doors. These things look awesome, nice and thick. You can see right there. Very sturdy, very hefty doors. You got little treasure chests here that you're gonna encounter. All right, looks like we have some shrines, regular dice. What else do we have? Some cauldrons, some traps. Okay, you can see the trap there. Like a magic lamp. Okay, we got a magic lamp, like a hammer and anvil, some fire. Okay, interesting. A lot of good stuff. All right. Where's the top of this? Okay, last but not least, the very last thing. Ooh, we got some more cards in here. These are initiative cards, probably the chapter act number 2 stuff. We have some more final painted miniatures. Woo, mystery boxes and packs going everywhere. Man, I wish they had did a better job to secure those on there. Okay. Let's see what we got. Ooh, this is knifed down. Okay. Let's see. Whoo, what do we start first? Let's go over here. Okay. This one looks amazing. No clue who this is, but interesting. Okay, I think that's a Lilith actually is who that might be. This is another demon that you can fight. That looks like Soraka from her staff is bent a little bit. Looks like Soraka from League of Legends. All right, we got big boy. This is Abaddon right here. Whoo-wee. That boy looks nice. Man, they've done a really, really good job with him. You can see some of the finer details on him. Man, that bad boy is nice. Okay, what do we got? We got some crazy griffin looking thing. Alrighty. Crazy griffin looking thing. The manticore. Ooh, that manticore look nice too. That's super cool. Super cool for the manticore. I gotta see how this one went. I don't know how he went. Was he like that? Probably something like that. I probably got him wrong. I think he was like that. There we go. Okay. This is the Stranger Things thing, or the Stranger Thing demon, which looks crazy. That is awesome. That guy looks cracked out. Okay. And then last but not least, we have this guy. Is that greed or wrath or lust or something like? No, it's not lust. That's like wrath. I think is who that is. That guy is spiked up. Looks like Doomsday from Superman. Okay. Wow. Those are all of the big bad miniatures. The final big boys in that one. And then, yeah, these are just cards and things like that, guys. Gorgonus the Hunter. Those are all the different aspects of... not the different aspects, but those are all the different miniatures that we have in the game. Okay, that looks to be everything in the all-in, or the all-in storage box. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and push this up. And then the only two things that we have left over to look at are our acrylic tokens, which I'll get these out here. So our acrylic tokens, I do believe they were missing some acrylic tokens as well of the characters. Some of the different characters, they were missing the acrylic tokens. But let's see some of the base game characters, what they look like. Yeah, just generic acrylic token versions. Of course, you're gonna have a protective film on them, but these look good. And then our status effect tokens, acrylic versions of the status effect tokens as well. And then here is an extra set of cards, some equipment. I wonder if these are stretch goal equipment and stretch goal equipment. Just looking at some swords, some soul binders rods, boots of the Voyager, ring of destiny. Okay, that's it, guys. Woof. All right, we rolled along on that 36 minutes. We cracked that bad boy open. So super excited. Now I'm gonna have a fun time of going through all this and seeing what I actually am missing and what I need again. They said there is an update pack or on the way of all the missing content for everybody, which is most likely, I believe it's like the Karen character, who's an additional character. Obviously, I don't see any acrylic tokens for the expansion characters or things like that, so I got to be on the lookout for those as well. Okay, guys, well, look, that is everything from our all-in Odaline Dungeons of Doom game found campaign. And look, my initial thoughts right off the bat is okay. You know, this kind of lived up to the hype so far that I thought it would. I'm very excited taking a look at all these. When it comes to the Sundrop, yes, the Sundrop is not perfect. It's not a super dark wash, but I do think they just used some sort of lighter wash, whether that was a quick process that they decided to do. I know some people have given them some criticism on that, but to me, honestly, guys, it did not really look that bad. It still had some Sundrop-ish effects, and it still looked better than the base miniatures, the gray miniatures that you would see in a standard game. So there are still a lot of details where they're going to stand out on the table. I don't have an issue with the Sundrop. Painted miniatures look fantastic, okay? Those are amazing. Definitely glad I got the painted miniatures. Let's talk about some other things that I really liked. The campaign books. Man, I am very excited and happy that these campaign books are nice and small. This is amazing. This is not going to take up a giant space. You know, something that I've talked about on the channel before is Dragon Eclipse. You know, was one of my top 10 games of 2025 because it did have that narrative app. The original campaign book in Dragon Eclipse was like this big, like it was massive, and it was just this lug that you had sitting on the table. So for a game that's going to have a lot of hours of gameplay, to fit them in these small little campaign books, I think that is wonderful and amazing as well. The tiles look great. Look, all in all, guys, I am very happy. I would say my initial thought process here with the production value and everything that I've seen so far on the table is a 9 out of 10. I think it's excellent. Thinks it lives up to the hype. Do got to give Dragori credit for knocking this one out the park in terms of the production and how everything looked out. Very pleased with this one. Now, the next thing is sorting all this and getting this stuff to the table. So I'm super excited to see how this one is going to play. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, hit that notification bell, drop down in the comments below. What are your thoughts and opinions on Odalin now that you guys have got to see it? Are you a little bit at ease with what is coming in your boxes that you might have pledged, or do you still have concerns that you are worried about? Love to know your thoughts and opinions. Last but not least, guys, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please go and subscribe so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye.